ever wondered how some people can effortlessly go months without watching porn? Well, I think I found the answer. I used to struggle with porn, like a lot. But now, I've gone 7 months without watching porn. With all that in mind, let me show you how I destroyed my porn addiction and how you can too. Bro, I remember that in 2022, I used to beat my meat so much, that after my fapping session, my hands would literally cramp. I'm not kidding. My fingers and my palms would just die. Like just once wasn't enough for my porn addicted brain. I had to go back to back. And believe it or not, this wasn't a once a week type thing or like a once a month type thing. Oh, I did this every day. The addiction got so bad that I was literally beating my meat every single day. One day though, while I was just scrolling through YouTube, minding my own business, a nofap video in the wild that is the YouTube homepage appears out of nowhere and just catches my eye. I had no clue what nofap was at the time, so I clicked on the video. And when I tell you that this video blew my mind, I mean it. Like, this video shook me to the core on how bad fapping was. I had no clue on how terrible it was. But guess what? I was too addicted to care. I simply kept the knowledge in my brain, didn't take any action, and just continued to fap, as if I never watched that video. But something changed this time. Instead of feeling that high that I would normally feel, you know, like that dopamine rush that I normally feel after fapping, I actually felt pretty guilty and shameful. Like, I started thinking to myself, why did I do this? I know how bad fapping is. Why did I do this? I know how bad watching porn is. Why am I hurting myself? And I tried to just convince myself otherwise, like saying, oh, the YouTuber exaggerated the video, or oh, it was just clickbait, it's not that bad. But I just couldn't shake off the guilt. I couldn't shake off this shame that I felt inside of me. And so after fapping, I went back to my computer and I spent hours watching more nofap videos. And specifically, there was this YouTuber called Hamza Ahmed, and he provided advice on how to stop fapping and stop watching porn. I felt so prepared to not fap anymore. When I tell you that my motivation and my inspiration inside of me to not fap anymore was sky high, I mean it. Like, the people who set New Year fitness goals had nothing on me. And during this period of time, urges had no control of me. I felt like I cured my porn addiction for good. But then on Sunday, a really strong urge, like probably the strongest one yet, came around and I just couldn't resist. And so as you could probably guess, I fapped and I just kept thinking to myself, why do I suck so much? Why did I fap? Why did I do this? I hate myself. And it only got worse from there. I continued fapping 1 to 2 times a day. And instead of feeling good, instead of feeling happy, you know, that we should feel after nutting, I felt terrible. I felt so guilty and ashamed. Like, I felt subhuman. And again, I went to YouTube. However, this time I wasn't mindlessly scrolling. No, I was on a mission to find the best nofap techniques of all time. And I tried the push-up technique, I tried the brute force method, and I tried the easy peasy method. Can you guess which one of these worked? Well then, if you guessed none of them, you're correct. You won. I continued watching porn and I continued fapping. But then after a fap sesh, I got recommended this unconventional video where he was talking about this weird no-fapping technique called progressive deloading. This literally blew my mind, and when I tell you that, I had this gut feeling inside of me telling me, you have just found the key to not fapping anymore. I mean it. I genuinely thought that this was a cure to all addiction. So basically, the deloading method is where you track how many times you fapped in 1 month, and then the following month, you decrease it by 5. So if you fapped 20 times in January, in February, you'd only fap 15 times. And to my surprise, it worked! I was finally fapping less! I was watching porn less! But there was a catch. I was still fapping and watching porn. Even though I was deloading and working my hardest at fapping less the following month, there were still months where, in that following month, I fapped more. I literally felt like all hope was lost and this addiction was just genuinely uncurable. And you know, I was thinking, I tried so hard, might as well just give up here, you know? What's the point? I can't get anything right. And I almost did give up. But what stopped me from giving up was another video I watched. And I know, right, I watched so many videos, but this video really stood out and really connected with me. Basically, in this video, the guy was just telling me to say no out loud whenever I get an urge. Literally, after watching this video, I thought to myself, what? How did I not think of this? How was I so stupid? I literally do this when studying. That's why I procrastinate. I'm literally procrastinating fapping. And with this newfound knowledge, I felt motivated again. I felt inspired again, like I did in the beginning of my journey. I knew I wouldn't fap anymore. For reals this time. And it's like my urges hurt my thoughts because they decided to put me through the strongest urge I've ever felt. Like, I mean it. This is the Godzilla of all fapping and watching porn urges. Do you want to know why it was like this? It was because this was an urge my favorite porn star. And so following the video, I said no, sounding the battle horns of the war against myself. Guess what? This urge had 10 times less power over me. And then I prayed and this urge was just completely gone. I did it! I finally beat my porn addiction. Me and Jesus destroyed Satan and sent these urges and sent back to where they belong, which is the bottomless pits of hell. So if you're wondering what I did to stop watching porn and beat my urges forever, well, first, you have to say no out loud whenever you get an urge. And second, you need to pray to God and Jesus and ask Him for strength and to be with you for you to beat these urges. So before we end this video, I'd like to quickly introduce myself. I'm Rafael Solomon. I'm a 16-year-old Christian and I love God and Jesus so much that I want to spread His word online. So if you found this video useful, like and subscribe. And if you want to have an unshakable faith in God, go watch this video. And finally, Ave Christus Rex.